Hello. What if the reason you haven't made as much progress as you would love to make is because you're pulling in a direction that is opposite the direction you should be heading? What if? Let me tell you a story. I was at the market one day and I was passing right beside, a store of a vendor selling live chickens. And I saw these two plump, nice looking chickens. However, they were tied at the feet. Just one foot of a chicken was tied, together. And they were pulling in opposite directions. This will pull in this direction, and that will pull in that direction, and this will pull in this direction. It was interesting to watch. Now, mind you, the chickens were about the same size. So, about the same, capability or strength, so to say. They kept pulling. And one thing I noticed was this: they made no progress. No progress, none whatsoever. And it struck me. What if you haven't made progress, Oluchi, because you've been pulling in a direction opposite to the direction you should be going? Just what if? I walked out of the market in my thoughts and I asked myself, would I have made more progress in many things if I had aligned, just aligned? I went away thinking to myself, Oluchi, alignment alignment. If you had aligned, instead of fighting your goals and fighting your passion and fighting your strengths and your capabilities and ignoring your propensities, what if you had taken time to study them? I had this conversation with myself, to study them and know what your strengths are, to study them and align yourself in order to make so much progress. So it occurred to me to ask us, what if you haven't made as much progress? What if, what if? Think about it. I'd really love to hear from you. Are there times when you feel you didn't make as much progress because you didn't align? Are there times when you feel you could have done better if you had paid more attention to your strengths, more to your strengths than to your weaknesses? Were there times where you felt you would have done things much better if you had not ignored your strengths and your passions? Just what if? What if we all aligned? What if we all aligned to the grand reason why we are here? Don't you think we'll make more progress? I'd really love to hear from you. I'd really love to hear from you in the comments down below. That being said, until our next conversation, keep looking beyond the surface. This is Oluchi's Lens.